At least one person has been killed and 20 injured in the latest barrage of Russian strikes on Ukraine's capital, according to Kyiv's mayor Vitaly Klitschko. Among the injured, 14 have been taken to hospital and 6 were treated at the scene. Ukraine's military commander said 12 missiles fired at Kyiv were intercepted by air defenses. Meanwhile, the war is grinding on in the east. Ukrainian troops are battling hard in Crimea, while Russian forces are pounding Bakhmut in the Donetsk region, where President Volodymyr Zelensky said was the scene of some of the war's fiercest fighting. Vladimir Putin claimed that Russia would never give in to the West's attempts to use Ukraine as a tool to destroy his country. In the Russian president's 9-minute New Year's message, he accused the West of provoking Moscow and said Russia was fighting in Ukraine to get true independence for its people.
Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakah Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that push this word in truth and in sincerity. We have ongoing war with Ukraine and Russia, and the only reason why Ukraine is able to keep up with Russia because the American government is sending billions of dollars, over $100 billion over there, to keep that war propped up, as well as the British government, Germany, and other countries that's aiding and abetting Ukraine to keep up with this war with Russia. But soon, these countries is going to find themselves in a quagmire where they have no other choice but to support not putting sanctions on Russia no more, because they're freezing over there in Europe. Europe cannot sustain themselves due to the sanctions that have been imposed upon Russia. It's not hurting the Russian people. It's more so hurting the European people more than the Russian people. So eventually these people are going to get angry with America, and not only is Russia going to shoot missiles on America, but it's going to be their own allies, right along with the allies of Russia. And that's prophecy. So be prepared, because 2023 is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And we're approaching the beginning stages of World War III. Because that's exactly where we're at. We're at the beginning stages of World War III, which is the third war in the scriptures, in the war of Armageddon. So what's coming down the pike is wars and more wars, right along with famine and death and destruction. So be prepared for it. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. The great day of the Lord, Yahweh, is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Who is the mighty man? The mighty man is the war machine of Esau, his military troops. Not only the American counterpart of Esau, Edom, but all the rest of these nations. Their mighty men gonna cry their ability too. Even the Russian military, they're gonna cry ability, because it's gonna be nuclear missiles being shot off from one part of the earth to the next. And this is exactly what the great day of the Lord is. Also, at the very same time the missiles being shot off, Yahweh Shah is going to crack them skies with the holy angels, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance. Death and destruction to the 2/3, Esau and the rest of the nation, and deliverance to his elect. And that's what's going to come down the pipe, man. And you people don't believe it, because y'all don't believe in the scriptures. Because y'all claim the scriptures is written by white men. That's your own what way of thinking. Back in Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. What is the great day of the Lord? When the Lord allowed these nations to shoot off missiles, thermonuclear missiles, hypersonic missiles, supersonic missiles, and destroy America, right along with Israel. But Israel and America's going to shoot missiles off too to destroy certain parts of these different countries. But ultimately, America and Israel is going to be wiped off the map. The only difference is Israel is going to be built back up again by the first fruits of slaves, pursuant to Ezekiel 39 and 14, where the Lord's going to sever out continuing employment. And that word employment means slavery. So it reads, it says, Zephaniah 1 and 14, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty men there shall cry out their bitterly. What's the voice of the Lord? These scriptures, man. And the prophets are speaking the words of Yahweh while Yahweh Shai and bringing out these prophecies to warn the people. It says, the mighty men there shall cry bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress. Because Esau, the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you Moabites, you Ammonites, you Hamites, you Ishmaelites, you're all going to be in distress. Everybody in the world is going to be in distress. It says, a day of wasteness and desolation. Did not the Lord say that he created the waster to destroy? Isaiah 54 and 16. The Lord created the waster to destroy, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet, and an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. It says, and I will bring distress upon men. That distress is thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots. Also, pestilence, famine, uproars of the people. That's all distress. The Lord's going to bring distress upon men. It says, and I will bring Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust and their flesh as the dung. All these dead bodies laid out from one end of the earth to the next. I tell you, when Jeremiah 25 verse 33, the slaying of the Lord shall be from one end of the earth to the next. Yeah, man, the Most High is not playing, man. The Lord is going to bring death and destruction. Death and destruction is coming, man. It tells you in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 verse 33. It says, and the slaying of the Lord, you read up to the 31st chapter. It says, the Lord shall come even to the ends of the earth. For the Lord have a controversy with the nations. That controversy was that what they have done to the sons of Israel. And it says, he will plead with all flesh. Judge. That word plead means to judge. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, of nuclear missiles going shooting off from one end up to the next. It says, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be rising up from the coast of the earth, them chariots. For all eyes going to see them chariots when Yahweh shall crack them skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance. It says, and verse 33, here's the point. And the slaying of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even to the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be as dung upon the ground. You get that? Death and destruction is coming. When Yahweh shall crack them skies, he's bringing death and destruction and deliverance. Right along with the missiles being shot off, bringing more death and destruction. And these devils are out there supporting Ukraine for a particular reason, because Ukraine is rich in minerals and resources. So they don't want Russia getting their hands on the minerals and resources. They rich in lithium, rich in grain, and grain and other natural resources that they have over there. Lithium, copper. So they don't want Russia, they don't want them resources in the hands of Russia. So therefore, they're doing everything they could possibly can to keep this war going, to defeat Russia. But what's really going down, what's really happening is, this was really happening. Russia is depleting the United States stockpile of weapons right along with NATO. Who's waiting in the wings, watching everything come down, watching everything go down the pike over in Ukraine and Russia, the Chinese government, because they're watching Europe deplete its arsenal and watching the United States deplete their arsenal. And then as soon as that happens, where their arsenal is depleted, they're going to go over there and invade Taiwan. And it's going to be nothing the American government nor NATO could do to help the Taiwanese government. And that's just how it's going down. Anybody could see that was going down. Why do you think the Chinese government has not yet invaded Taiwan? They beefing. Japan and China is beefing. China and India is beefing. So this is it's crazy. I meant to say China, it's like China and Pakistan is beefing, not India. It's crazy. And all this is happening because Esau, the so-called white man, which is the devil, has his hand in everything that's going down the pike. Man, Esau was that red horse that has taken peace from the earth, and the great sword was given to him. And that's his blessing. That great sword, man. It says, let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah one more time. Chapter 50, verse 9. Because this is the great day of the Lord. And the Lord's going to put the spirit and work on the mind of Vladimir Putin, or whoever's the president at that time, which I believe is going to be Vladimir Putin, to shoot missiles off on America, right along with his allies. And that's how America's going to be destroyed. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, and the assembly of great nations from the north country. It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her in military formation. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. They're going to shoot their missiles off. That's what they set in battle array. And they're going to shoot their missiles off. America's going to shoot missiles off back. But missiles are going to be coming at America from different ways. America's going to shoot missiles off and destroy certain parts of perhaps Great Britain, certain parts of France, Germany, certain parts of China, certain parts, probably perhaps Moscow, certain parts of Beijing, or whatever the case may be. We don't know how the missiles are going to hit, but we definitely know that America is going to be destroyed. It says, in Chaldea, verse 10, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. All that break her down and destroy her and burn her with fire is going to be satisfied when they see their handiwork. Because this is a wicked place, man. This is a wicked place, and it has to be destroyed. And the Lord's going to put the spirit on these people to destroy this place. And that's why we are out there on the highways and the byways blowing that trumpet, man, warning the people. Joel chapter 2, verse 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. And that's exactly what we're doing. The holy mountain of the Lord is Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the people before it become a place. You Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, we sounding the alarm, we warning y'all, but you're not taking heed. It says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is near at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. They have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even so, even till the years of many generations. And that great people is talking about the nuclear missiles. It's not talking about the actual people. That's a metaphor for these nuclear missiles. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and the flame burneth. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and the flame and behind them a fire devour before them, and behind them a flame burneth. And that's where you see the missiles, that fire is propelling the missile. From behind. It says, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them, because certain parts of America is beautiful, like Wyoming, Nebraska, Vermont. It's beautiful, man. It has a lot of greenery, a lot of vegetation, a lot of trees, animals. It's beautiful. That's before the nuclear missiles hit. It says a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them, because once the missiles get shot off, they're gonna hit their target, and nothing's going to escape. Everything every target that the missiles were slated to hit, they're going to hit and destroy it. That's why America's gonna be a lake of fire. And it reads, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Horses set in battle array is the missiles set in military formation being shot off. That's what it's talking about. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It's going to be like a military of men set in battle array, but those are missiles this is talking about. It's talking about over 200 million warheads, man. Shot off, man. Because each missile could contain 20 to 30 warheads. Some 15, some 5, some 20 to 30 warheads. And the destruction comes from the warheads, not the missile itself. The warheads within the missile. It says, before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the walls like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. Why? Because they're going to be spiritually guided and laser guided through the technology that the Lord gave Esau. And the Lord himself is going to be within the missiles. The Spirit of the Lord himself is going to be within the missiles to destroy this place. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Meaning, when a missile defense system shoot up there to try to knock them out of the sky, it's going to bounce right off them. They're not going to be wounded. They're not going to be destroyed. They're going to hit their target. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter into the house. It says they shall enter in at the window like a thief. The earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. They ain't gonna have no answer for what's going on. Also, it's gonna be a nuclear cloud, that mushroom cloud that's going to cover the skies. But this is going into Esau's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They ain't gonna have not a clue. They're not gonna have no answers. They ain't gonna have the strength in their body to come up with some kind of solution, because they're gonna be in their distress. It says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executed his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Hey, man, the day of the Lord is going to be very great and terrible. And we can only imagine and visualize it, but we don't know what's going to truly come to pass and how it's going to be. We read in you scriptures, and we can visualize it, but how terrible it's going to be, who can abide in that day? This is cruelty from the Lord, man. This is unadulterated cruelty that he's going to bring upon the wicked. A couple of more scriptures before I close it out. Okay. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 12. The earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea arises with the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. Let me read it again, Slakia. 2nd Ezra 16, verse 12. The earth quakeneth and the foundations thereof. The sea arises up with the waves from the deep, and the waves, it says, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. Them arrows represent the arrows represent the nuclear missiles, whether they supersonic, hypersonic, or regular ICBM nuclear missiles. These are weapons of the Lord. It says, and the bow is a nuclear silo that holds these weapons intact until they get shot off. It says, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot off, it's like when they begin to be shot into the ends of the earth. Behold, the plagues are sent. And when you and to understand what the plagues are, what these talk about, the plagues are sent, Zechariah the 14th chapter, the 12th verse, goes into that perfectly, and it matches up with this scripture right here. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till they consume the foundations of the earth. Like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, turneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Once the missiles are shot off, that's it, man. So we're approaching some heavy, cruel times in 2023. Abba Ratazah, the Lord deliver us. Abba Ratazah, be one of them men that be beamed up on the ship if I'm a part of the elect. So I hope you Akim was edified, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Quadash, and double honor to the Apostle Elder Great Millstone. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.